But if you don't ask questions, if you don't curiosity, dig and look around, you are not inviting your organization to also awake to those opportunities, discover every day new areas of opportunity, because that's what we call many times hidden losses. I get asked a lot about, what really is a loss. I go back with, it's a great question, because the loss is an opportunity, you can call it, or people call it waste as well. But it sounds weird when we said everything we do, or 30% of what we do, is a waste. Well, the data suggests that this is true. 30% of what we do is a rework, or is a waste in materials, a waste in effort, time, energy. You can call it any way you want, but there is a waste involved. Actually, you can even say 30% of what we spend is also an opportunity that could be taken as a loss. So, but what is really the definition of loss? The short definition would be is the distance between where you are and where you could be. And where you could be, we call it in the industry the ideal state. So you have an ideal state that is your perception of collective idea, and many times is the idea of the boss, meaning the plant manager, the operations leader, thinks this is the ideal state. This is where we should go to. And of course, you compare to where you are, there is a gap. That gap is identified as an opportunity, and we call it a loss. So that loss requires that we really double click, triple click, penetrate, and deepen into the root causes of those. And that's what the process of loss elimination is about. Loss then is identifying those opportunities, and loss recovery is bringing those opportunities into real results, real value creation, which is no new concept. That is a concept that I would like everybody to really register in your mind. It is not about more activities to avoid certain things. It is activities and interventions that if you bring along, if you incorporate into your production system, you will have a sustaining way to deliver better results. And those better results are value creation opportunities. A lot of times, leaders, plant managers, operations leaders in general, or visitors from another operation, or when the head of your company comes and visit you. I experienced many times that I was walking the plant and I was listening to presentations very attentively, respecting the individuals that are talking to you. But at the same time, I'm looking at places that probably are not the common places. I will look up, for example. I will walk and look around for details that are indicative of how much care, how much impeccability is there in our operations. Because it's too easy as a leader to get used to what we see. So here is the point I'm trying to make here. If every time I walk by a given tank area and I see water or I see liquid on the bottom of those tanks, day 1, day 2, day 3, and in a month time, in a year time, and I see liquid there. But I never dare even to ask what is that liquid. I'm assuming it's water from rain. What is happening here? Can I ask what type of liquid is that? Is that the same content of the tank? And why is there? That type of curiosity needs to be awakened in leadership. Leaders ought to understand that it's an operating system with people, machinery, where mistakes happen or where we get used to things that are not perfectly right. But if you don't ask questions, if you don't curiosity, dig and look around, you are not inviting your organization to also awake to those opportunities, discover every day new areas of opportunity. That's what we call many times hidden losses. We get used to them. We don't see them. There is no report on efficiencies that tells you that there is a leak in that given tank, or that every time you open the tank to get a sample, you toss away half a liter of the liquid. Or that every time we pass through SKU in the packing line, the remaining material is exposed to contamination. Many times we don't see those details because we get used to the way we live, the way we operate. A very important lesson on the area of managing that criteria and bringing the level of standard higher is that you become an excellent observer. And by doing that, you help your people to observe as well. And by doing that, you help them to look at that as the opportunity to value creation again. Identify that opportunity, tackle it, turn it into value. As simple as that. It sounds more simple than it's really, but it's a matter of you persistently practicing it and learning it. So when you go to plants, when you interact with your people, you are able to coach them, because leaders role model and leaders demand, but demanding only is not a good leadership trait. So that's the game.